Yeah. Well, we've got Neil Bradley, the Chief Policy Officer at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. He joins me now from Washington, D.C. So great to have you on. I mean, we heard the warnings from Janet Yellen. We're hearing Jerome Powell saying, look, there's little we can do. But here's the thing, would lawmakers actually flirt with the possibility of a default? Or are you expecting an 11th hour deal to sort of save the day as 1st of June is looming?
Yeah, Elaine, well, thanks for having me. I do expect an 11th hour deal. It may be 11 hours and 58 minutes. They may cut it really close to the wire. But I do think that lawmakers and the president understand the consequences of a first ever default. So I do think we'll find a way of resolving this. For our part at the U.S. Chamber, we're just trying to make sure that we're moving these negotiations along, because what we don't want to do is have kind of an inadvertent default where we think we're coming together on a deal and there's a last minute hiccup and for some reason or another, Congress fails to increase it. That would be catastrophic.
Absolutely. Look, it's reputational damage at a global level. There's local impact. I mean, this is widespread worry that you have to take into consideration. I was looking back historically in terms of when things really got sticky, and it kind of, my producer reminded me of what happened with Bill Clinton in the 90s, and there were major spending cuts that came into play as well. Are you anticipating that, spending cuts are going to be a reality in these negotiations, that there's no way out of that?
They should be. They should be on the table. And frankly, we do need to reduce federal spending. And so the size of our budget and our budget deficit is simply unsustainable. So it's reasonable that a debt limit increase would be attached to spending restraints. It's not just the case that that was done a few years ago when President Obama was president. It was done during Clinton's time. You can go back even further. In the 1980s, Ronald Reagan and a Democratic Congress haggled over a debt limit increase and on deficit reduction. So this is nothing new in that sense. We've just been getting a lot closer to the X date where we would actually default in recent years than we have in the past.
Yeah. We don't have much time, but I do want to talk about Title 42. It is set to expire next week. You've been very vocal and about critical workforce shortages, and you're also calling for action to deal with the border crisis. What are you anticipating? What do you expect in terms of action?
Well, the expiration of Title 42 directly points us to why we've had over 430 business organizations in the United States calling on Congress to take action this year to do two things: to secure the border and reform our broken legal immigration system. So we've had enough talk, we've had enough blame going on between the parties. It's actually time to find solutions, and there are common sense solutions that both sides can agree on that would make real progress in both securing the border and reforming an immigration system to make sure that American businesses have access to the talent and the workers that they need.
Neil Bradley, thank you so very much for joining us. Great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Female